Well, you have finally got here. You are listening to the Erskine Music Podcast. Here, by popular demand, we discuss life, culture, Christ, and of course, music. These half-hour broadcasts are perfect for a commute, coffee time, chat, or any other gap in your schedule where you want to put great content. So without further ado, let's join the conversation today, already in progress.
No snacks. Awesome. That's okay. I don't need it.
Working on your juggling. Well, 15 minutes of fame is here now because we're going to talk about All Pro Dad, and we'll watch a quick little video that'll give people an introduction there, and then I just want you to just take it from there. You can run in any direction that you want to, and there may be some folks who jump in the comment section and ask questions after that, but All Pro Dad coming up here in just a few moments.
What does a child want most from their dad? Time. Because time to children, time equals love. At All Pro Dad, we give you the one-on-one time you need to strengthen your relationship with your child and the tools to become the best father you can be. Maybe you had a dad or role model to lead you, to inspire you, to be there for you as you were growing up. Maybe you didn't. Either way, we're here to help show you the way forward. It starts with bringing your child to school once a month with other dads, mentors, and their kids. For 1 hour, you'll share in fun activities, create memories, and learn about meaningful topics like forgiveness, leadership, humility, and purpose using our character-based curriculum. You'll be focused on each other, and as a result, your relationship will grow deeper. By becoming part of a local All Pro Dad chapter, you'll get access to all that All Pro Dad has to offer, plus exclusive content created just for team captains and members. You'll be welcomed and encouraged by a community of other dads. You'll help your school, you'll strengthen your community, and best of all, your child will get what they want most, your time and your love. Tens of thousands of fathers and their children from across the nation are benefiting from involvement with a local All Pro Dad chapter. We hope you'll join us at an existing chapter or start one of your own. It just might change your family forever.
All right. All Pro Dad.
Yeah, that's a good video. I know a couple of the guys in that video, actually. And All Pro Dad, do you want me to just tell about it?
Yeah, because there may be some folks out there who don't know and are not familiar with All Pro Dad.
Yeah,
kind of where.
Okay. Well, we have it's a community of dads at a local school, and it's called a chapter. And our tag, I'll give you the history in a minute, but our tagline for All Pro Dad is 1 minute a day, which is the daily email. It's called the Play of the Day. It's free. Moms, dads, grandparents, uncles, aunts, anybody can sign up for it. It's called the Play of the Day. Just go to allprodad.com and sign up for it, and you will get that in your inbox every day. It's an inspirational email about parenting, marriage, different tips on life. And so it's a minute a day, an hour a month, which is the monthly breakfast meeting. It's usually a breakfast. It doesn't have to be. It can be an evening meeting or just a meeting without food. But it's a meeting at the campus, on the campus, where the dads and father figures come together. It's not just for dads. It's for boys and girls. It's for all children. It's for anyone who wants to come and be part of that community of parenting and dad influence.
That's one of the things that I was going to ask. I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah, it's a once a month meeting, and most schools, kind of like FCA, have it in the morning, and they have some kind of food and orange juice or coffee or juice boxes or whatever. But it's not necessary to have the food. You can just have a meeting. The meeting lasts anywhere from you can do 20 minutes or you can go 40 to an hour. And and maybe an hour, including the game, the icebreaker, a game, a fellowship time, eating, if you have an hour. But the tagline is an hour a month. And then the third part of our tagline is a day a year, 1 day a year, which is called the All Pro Dad Experience. And we had one in Nashville about a year and a half ago. We're going to have another one, I think, in Nashville. I don't know the dates, but probably in the fall at Titan Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, before they tear it down, I guess.
The old Titan Stadium, because
Yeah,
the new
yeah,
one is
yeah.
going up quickly.
Yeah, well,
Every
maybe
time
it'll
I
be at
pass by there,
yeah,
there's
maybe
more
it'll be at the
construction.
new one. I don't know, but anyway, it's a day where families come together on the field between 9 and noon, and an inspirational talk from a coach or a player, games. There's different stations that they go around, prizes. Just a wonderful, wonderful time. A reading area that dads can read with their kids. We're really big about that because readers become leaders. And if you can read, you can learn your whole life, and so it's really, and based on that model, the one day a year. And I think this year we've got one at Clemson University on March 1st coming up. We
Okay.
had one a couple months ago at the Carolina Panthers stadium in Charlotte, and I was there, and that was fun. And so it's really a neat, and we get we have room for I think it's between, depending on the size of the the stadium, the parking lot, and the venue, and if they've got other things going on. Like at Charlotte, they had a marathon going on the same day, but I still think we had between 500 and 700 families there, which was about 2,000 people, something like that, on the field. So it's pretty amazing. It's usually you get between 400 and 700 families, maybe maximum of, and you might get a dad and 2 kids, or a mom and a dad and sometimes 4 kids. So you just get all kinds of different variations, and it's just awesome to see all those people out on the football field for a day of inspiration. It's called the All Pro Dad Experience, and how that got started about 30 years ago. And actually, I lived there at the time, Tampa Bay, Florida. That's where our national headquarters is.
Okay.
Coach Tony Dungy. Have you heard of him?
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. we should ask the audience. Have you heard of Tony Dungy? Do you know about his Quiet Strength?
Yeah, Quiet Strength. Yeah, good book. And Uncommon was his other book. And he's just Tony and his wife Lauren have 11 children, and they've adopted, I can't remember what the ratio. It's 5 natural, 6 adopted, or vice versa. And they lost their son James to mental illness and suicide several years ago. So they've really been across the board. Like, people look at a guy like Tony Dungy and say, oh, he's got it, he's got everything, he's rich, he's famous, and they've been through a lot, and they love their kids, and they're great. He's just a great role model and great parenting. And what he, at that time, almost 30 years ago in Tampa, he had these all-pro millionaire football players, and he would blow the whistle at whatever time they got done, 5 o'clock or whatever. He wouldn't do long practices, so that they purposely blew the whistle at a certain time so they could go in the locker room, take a shower, go home, and be with their family if they had a wife and kids. But he heard them talking in the locker room, and they would be saying stuff like, hey, you want to go out on my boat? You want to go golfing? This is Florida. You want to go, to the club? You want to go get something to eat? Whatever. And he's like, and he knew they had a wife and kids at home, and he'd be like, guys, you're all pro football players. Go home and be an all pro dad. That's why I blow the whistle at 4:30 or 4:45. It's so you can do that. And so he started having all pro dad experiences on the field once a month on Tampa Stadium's field, and the Buccaneers field there in Tampa. And he would get, he would have a reading station. He would have tickle tackle. He would have a little talk. He would do a talk, or one of the players would do a talk, or he'd get a local leader to do a talk on integrity, serving, manners, what it means to be a young man or a young woman of integrity, those kinds of things. And so character-based curriculum was actually born and put into the school-based meeting. The once a month meeting at school is a character-based curriculum that All Pro Dad puts together. We have elementary, middle school, and high school curriculum. And the school, basically, to start a chapter, they buy the curriculum for one school year. They have access to it through a web page. They get a national web page. We have 1,500, I think, roughly, chapters right now in the United States of America, and we have 5 international chapters. We've got 3 in Africa, 1 in Egypt, and I think 1 in Canada. And so we have and those 1,500 chapters meetings at a school or a community center with father figures and fathers and kids represent almost 300,000 individuals coming together monthly to talk about integrity, to talk about courage, to talk about, things in life.
Well, that certainly gives a sense of why people enjoy this show. Very engaging, very heartfelt. We will return to the conversation in a few moments, but first, let's thank our sponsors, Life Action Ministries, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and you for all your awesome support. And Holt International. Thanks so much to our partners who make such a difference.
Thanks, Jason. Hi, I'm Dawn.
And I'm Steve of Dawn and Steve Plus. We're a podcast, and if you've not checked it out, hope you'll do that. You can visit our website. It is dawnandsteveplus.com, or you can find us wherever you get your podcasts.
We do hope that you'll be able to join us, even as you continue to follow Erskine Music. Erskine does such a great job of bringing out topics. They're not all easy.
Right. I love that he'll tackle just about any topic.
Yeah. He will tackle any topic and invite you to the conversation, which is always a plus because learning the art of conversation, well, it's much needed.
It certainly is. And he does a great job with those conversations. So, Erskine, thanks for doing that. Thanks for tackling those tough topics. And thanks for listening to the Erskine Music Show.
All right, let's get back to the show. This is where it gets good.
One of the great ones for elementary is called proactivity. I didn't even know what that meant, but proactivity is so packed with wisdom. And proactivity, it's a lesson. It's a 10-minute, it's a PowerPoint, a video that goes with it, a game, and discussion cards. You saw in that video the little girl reading the questions. It's a discussion question
I'm trying to get
with
to
your
that.
dad. And we do what's called a pride moment. In there where a dad he can publicly do it if he feels led. If he's more of an introvert, he can do it just with his child or children, and he says what he's proud of. So if you were my son, I would stand up in front of everybody and say, Erskine, I'm so proud of you because you cleaned your room last week without being told every day, and that's Mom and I are just so proud of you.
Awesome.
And then there's even a certificate that you can, the team captain, the person that runs it at school, can print off, and it's like an award certificate, and it says pride, I'm proud of you because, and the dad can sign it and give it to the kid. But we're building a community of dads around integrity and character-based curriculum that just make them better citizens, right? And give them a better future, give them a hope of confidence.
So needed.
If you've got a little bit of confidence, if you're beaten down and told you're no good and your love tank is empty, but if you're getting your love tank filled and you've got confidence, you don't need anything but that you've got it. You got what you need. And well, obviously the Lord, but another thing, people that are very, very strong advocates for the gospel, which I am, wonder why we're not more gospel forward. And that's uniquely that's intentional, because we want to be in the schools. We want every dad to come. We don't want to say, hey, this is a Christian all pro dad group, even though Family First, our umbrella nonprofit, is a Christian organization. And but the all pro dad curriculum and program is faith neutral. There's going to be character based in the curriculum. It's all based on, we know it's based on God's word, it's based on the fruit of the Spirit and all those kinds of things, but we don't have Bible verses. We don't have prayers or anything like that, but that's intentional so that when they get the daily email, it has algorithms built into it. And when the dads click on links in that daily email, the more clicks they get, the more they start getting fed. If they click on things that's like 10 ways to be an all-pro dad. One of those ways will be to pray with your family and take your family to church, right? Yeah. So if you click on that, then the algorithm will read that, and the next a few emails later, it might send you one on, ways to be, to grow, as a believer, and it might have a Bible verse in there or something. So that's it in the email. And if you don't click on that stuff, you won't get that stuff. So it's pretty amazing. And it's very, very needed, as you said, and it's been going for 30 years, and I see it going for until the Lord returns. And I'm just glad to be a part of it. And now for almost a year and a half, it'll be 2 years in this summer that I started with All Pro Dad, and the Lord really made it evident to me to. I had to walk away from FCA, which I hated to do, but the Lord made it evident. And part of that, Him really confirming that in my heart and my mind, is get out of the way and let some younger talent come in behind you in FCA, and they can take it to the next level that I maybe wouldn't be able to take it to. And it's not about me anyway; it's about the Lord through us. So God put together a good team to keep FCA going here that I'm proud of, and I love, and I support, and I get to serve the Lord and serve families in a different way now. And so it really has worked out, and I get to work from home or Summit. You've been to Summit or my car. When I took Daniel to Grand Canyon University, my youngest son is at Grand Canyon University, which is 2,000 miles from and you need to go there. You need to connect with him and get there. So,
I know. I'm headed out in the direction of Utah.
We just started 2 All Pro Dad chapters in Phoenix.
Well, there you go.
Dad chapters in Phoenix. So, I was talking to Daniel yesterday, and he. I told him, I was going to be on your show and stuff. So he sends his greetings, and he's doing great. But we drove him out there.
Well, hopefully the folks from Phoenix are already watching this today, but it will be kind of early for them.
Yes. So greetings, Phoenix and Arizona, and
hey, Phoenix. What's up, Phoenix? But no, I love this, Steve. If you don't mind, there might be some people who are watching today who are thinking, maybe the Lord is calling me to be proactive in some way, to be involved in some way. And a lot of times that involvement seems to be, well, I could go be a missionary, and I could go overseas, or I could go be a pastor, or I could go study, and I could go do these meritorious spiritual things. Maybe it's neither of those things. Maybe it's none of those things. Maybe the avenue that the Lord is leading you to is through recognition of the fact that All Pro Dad can be right where you're at. It can be right where you're planted. So wherever you're watching from, there could be an offshoot of this, an outgrowth of this that begins to impact the families and the community where you're located even now.
Yes. Yeah. And if you have one at your local school, you'll hopefully know about it, but you could talk to the PTA, the PTO, whatever it's called in your area, the principal, a teacher, a family engagement. Most schools now have a family engagement person or a family engagement, even at a district level, and you can talk to that person, and it's just bring a group of dedicated volunteers together. It can be moms, dads, grandparents, coaches, pastors. It can be anybody that just has a heart for families and building a community of dads. And last thing I'll say is statistics prove, I've looked them up all different ways, and without reading boring statistics to you, when dads are engaged, and this doesn't take anything away from moms at all. Moms are the ones doing most of it. The 80-20 rule, right? Maybe it's the 90-10 rule, but moms are in the car line, moms PTA, moms back to school, all this kind of stuff. And by the way, we have an iMom. We have an iMom whole branch of, it's called imom.com. It's a web-based mothers outreach, which is pretty cool.
That's what I was thinking when you said iMom.
Yeah. But,
maybe I'll let him explain before I jump in on that.
Yeah, but when dads get involved with their kids' education, all the good metrics, stay in school, better grades, better behavior, show up early, stay late, all those, integrity, go up. And all the bad metrics, the things we don't like to talk about, but they're real, teen pregnancy, drugs, dropping out of school, truancy, being late, having a bad attitude, all those bad metrics go down. So when dad's involved, those things change. And again, it takes nothing away from the mom. Moms are nurturing. Dads seem to be maybe a little more on the discipline, guiding type. And that's why God gives us a mom and a dad, and there's unfortunately so many broken families, but that's what's beautiful. The community of dads can come around. I was talking to a team captain yesterday in North Carolina that he they lost a dad tragically to cancer last week. And so the dads have come around those kids, and the father who passed, his kids to still come to All Pro Dad, and they're going to be surrogate fathers for him, and just love on him and his family. And that's what it's about. There's going to be kids in every school that they either don't have a dad present, or they don't know who their dad is, or they have a stepdad, or they have, they're in foster care, or some situation of being raised by grandparents or other family members. They're welcome to come. And then the other dads just naturally, organically, because they love being a dad, they love their kids, they're going to help those other kids. They're going to come around them and say, you can be part of our little group. You can discuss, I'll do a pride moment with you, And so it just builds cohesiveness in the school, the community. I mean, you could just, it's such an organic growth that has all positives that I can't say enough about it. And when our
you got to show your shirt there. You got to.
Okay, yeah, All Pro Dad.
All Pro Dad, yeah. Make sure we get that shot in there.
When I go out in the community with this, if they don't know what that is, they think, man, that guy really thinks highly of himself, right? He's got a T-shirt that says All Pro Dad. I'm an All Pro Dad. Look at me. But no, it's but when our expansion guys go out, and we have one in Nashville. His name's Steve. His name's Steve-O. We call him.
Yes,
Steve Oldham.
I have communicated with Steve-O.
Yes, Steve's great.
I need to get together with Steve-O.
Steve starts the chapters, and I service the chapters. I keep the chapters going. I'm more like a coach and continue encourager and help them resource them, give them ideas, bounce ideas, do trainings. I've got a training today at noon and online, just like this, with some team captains. But he starts the chapters, and our chapter fee is $100 for the whole school year. It's $50 if you come in half the year. For the rest, you get 5 lessons. For 100, you get 10 lessons.
Okay.
The web page, and you get all of our support. And we've had principals and family engagement people go, when they ask how much it is, we say $100, and they go, is that per family? And we say, no, that's for just the curriculum. That you're buying the curriculum for one school year, just like if you were buying a set of books for the library or a video series. You're buying that to use in this program called All Pro Dad, and you run the program and use the curriculum. Wow.
Well, you probably already know that when you hear that sound, there's music on the way. After all, this is kind of a music show. Sit back and enjoy. All the music can be easily found on your favorite digital distribution channels. Turn up the volume, and here we go.
And casualties. If it's a war, we're losing battles to fight within. If everybody wants to win, be careful of your friends. Yo, the day is coming with no more of these rivalries. The timeline in an age of possibility. Crying out, nobody's listening. Chasing up the bad dreams, yeah, they thought they had me. Keep on going along. New days coming and it won't be long. Amplify, Jesus is coming louder. Like everything is going crazy, but is it possible that maybe prayer time is getting lazy? Don't hate me, cause I'm just saying, if we really wanna change things, it ain't working to maintain things. Jesus, yeah, he saved me, and he changed me, cause he's the king of the mountain. Keep on going along, new days coming and it won't be long.
found it. Hold strong, won't be long, few more steps. No death, unlimited breath, a reset. The moon red, the sun dark, the sky black. The horn blow, thunder roll, the sky crack. Every eye is gonna see, everybody bow the knee. Everything is coming clean, all before the King of Kings.
Keep on going along. New days coming and it won't be long. Amplify, Jesus is coming louder. If you didn't know, he's the king of the mountain. Keep on going along. New days coming and it won't be long. Amplify, Jesus is coming louder. If you didn't know, he's the king of the mountain. Mountain. Yo, he's the king of the mountain. Yeah, yeah. If you didn't know, if you didn't know. Mountain, mountain.
To the Most High, you're coming back.
Yeah, mountain.
$100 for the whole year. That's and it can impact some schools. It's impacting 200, 300, 400 people. You know, maybe 75, 80, 100 families each month. And so it's just really a great worthwhile organization, and I'm proud to be a part of it. And Tony Dungy's still involved with us.
All
Mark
right.
Merrill's our president. He's our other founder. And but
What's
I've
Tony
seen
Dungy's middle initial?
I don't know. I need to find that out. I should
Let's
ask him next
Let's
time.
just say TL.
Okay.
TL Dungy. TL Dungy.
So yeah, I've seen him on a couple of Zoom meetings. I met him one time in person. Just a super guy. Just a gracious. He's always been a hero of mine, and
Seems
like
to
you.
be.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this, because I think you would echo this statement, and then I'm the one that has to give all the accolades here. But this is not to supplant the church. I know there's probably pastors and people who watch this show. This is not in any way supplanting the church. We do strongly uphold and believe the role of the church to make disciples and fulfill the Great Commission. But as you talk about wraparound support and supports for the community, this is one of those things that if it's in public schools, that's going to touch so many different families that may not necessarily go to your particular church or your particular denomination, but may indeed need the grace and the love of Jesus Christ. And so this is working in tandem with the local churches, I'm sure, in various capacities from a kingdom mindset, but this is specifically in schools, and it's not a church-based program, but it is believers who are involved in it.
We do have some churches that run the program from their church for the community.
Okay.
And so you have, it may be regular, it may represent several schools. And so we have one.
Wonderful.
So, and then there's one in Nashville somewhere. I think they're over there by just down the south of Nashville.
Antioch?
No,
Laverne.
right. Just like
Laverne.
I can't remember the name of the
Murfreesboro.
place, but they meet in a community center in a neighborhood. They don't meet at the school because the parking lot isn't, I guess it's too busy with the car line coming in when they're getting ready to leave and stuff. So they just meet at a community center that isn't being used at 7 a.m. right, or whatever time they meet, and it's pretty cool. I mean, you've got the autonomy and the freedom to use the program however you want. We had one guy here in East Tennessee. He only used it for 1 year. He didn't renew, but he did use it, and he had a luncheon, a businessman's luncheon that he bought the curriculum for, and he went through it with the men that had, these dads and kids. He went through that curriculum with them, because you get the 10 lessons, and it just gets dads and kids focused on these topics, and it's just awesome.
So more of like a men's ministry, men's discipleship program.
Absolutely, yeah. And he has a monthly luncheon, but he gave that to the men in his monthly luncheon, who would just take the information home to and you can print off the discussion cards, and you can go home and, like, I could send you the discussion cards for the lesson on proactivity, which basically it's learning to be proactive, which is thinking ahead and not being reactive, right? And in the Christian realm of that, it would be being led by the Spirit and not the flesh. But in the secular realm, it's like, okay, let's think through this. What would a good citizen do? What would someone who's kind to others do? How would they, it's basically the fruit of the Spirit. And you're saying, how would that look, rather than reacting and being angry because I don't get my way, but being proactive. I mean, to talk about proactivity with a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, many, many more incredible things and stories I'm sure you're going to have as you continue along with All Pro Dad. And I just wanted to say, from my vantage point as the host of this show, the reason why I wanted you to come on the show and talk about All Pro Dad is because you have embodied what it means to be an All Pro Dad. I know some people might look at that and think, he's wearing that on, he must think he's really something, but I think that you're really something. And I've watched you for years be as consistent in your family life and in all the struggles and challenges that you guys have had as a family, as anyone that I know, in loving the Lord, loving your family, and being that All Pro Dad that not just represents the organization, but is that in Christ Jesus. So thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. That's a great encouragement. I appreciate that.
We have come to the end of this episode. Don't miss a final word from Erskine.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the Erskine Music Podcast experience. To all of our guests that come on the show, and for all of our sponsors, thank you guys so much for being a part of it. And for you who listen to the show, you and I, we make this thing happen by simply being kind to one another in the comment section, and then going as followers of Christ and living this thing out. If anybody needs more information, erskinemusic.com is where you start, and then all the nonsense starts, all the social media that's out there. But let's go live it out. See you guys very soon.